Ricky.
Begs the heavens for a miracle, and the heavens deliver something no one expects. In a radiant valley where morning light glazed every tower, the rulers of Eldavar, King Arlen and Queen Myrina, waited for the child they had prayed for through countless seasons. When the queen's labor stretched into a second day, the palace swelled with anticipation. Trumpets stood ready, banners whipped with impatient wind, and servants whispered predictions outside the birthing chamber. But when the infant finally arrived, the room felt quieter than snowfall. The baby boy was tiny, oddly shaped, with a tuft of hair that stood straight up like a stubborn sprout defying gravity. His features were uneven, his nose a touch too bold, his limbs delicate, yet his eyes gleamed with sharp, unsettling awareness, as though he understood more than any newborn should. "Is this truly the child fate grants us?" the queen murmured, struggling to hide the tremble in her voice. Before despair could settle, a figure cloaked in shimmering green emerged from the shadows, an otherworldly visitor whose presence bent the air like heat above flame. "Majesty," the being said softly, "do not fear what you see. I have blessed him with a gift far greater than outward beauty, a mind swift as lightning and a heart capable of rare wisdom. When he grows, he will possess the power to share that brilliance with the one he loves most." The king bowed despite his shock. The queen held her peculiar child tighter, comforted by the promise. They named him Ryan, though murmuring courtiers soon called him Ryan of the Rising Tuft. As Ryan grew, the fairy's prophecy bloomed. He was curious, articulate, and endlessly inventive. Before he could walk steadily, he solved riddles his tutors couldn't. He spoke with an insight that startled seasoned scholars. His laughter could brighten a hall, yet whispers trailed behind him like faint smoke. Children teased him, nobles stared too long. Even guests from foreign courts struggled to greet him without pausing in surprise. Ryan learned that intelligence could amuse a crowd, but it could not soften the discomfort his appearance caused. Elegance in dress and generosity in speech helped little. Beneath his charm lived a quiet ache. Can a brilliant mind ever replace the warmth of being truly desired? His parents loved him fiercely, but the queen often watched him with a worried softness. Was wisdom alone enough to shield a lonely heart? Beyond Eldavar's mountains lay the realm of Arendelle, where another royal family raised twin daughters. Their births had been celebrated as divine favor, yet destiny had not divided its blessings evenly. On the day of their consecration, the same green-cloaked spirit appeared beside the twin cradles. "To the elder," the entity proclaimed, "I bestow the gift to offer beauty to whomever she cherishes. And to the younger, I grant the ability to awaken cleverness within the one she loves." The court accepted the blessings with gratitude, tinged with confusion. Why such opposing gifts? The elder girl, Celera, grew stunning enough to halt conversation. Her hair glimmered like polished gold. Her smile illuminated entire rooms. But when she spoke, her words drifted without substance, like petals carried by wind. Concepts confused her. Poetry meant nothing. Lessons slid away as quickly as they were taught. Her sister Leora was the reverse, plain in appearance but radiant in wit. When she spoke, crowds leaned in. Her ideas flowed like streams over smooth stones. Her humor sparkled with effortless grace. Years swept by. Celera's beauty became the talk of distant lands, and the torment of her own existence. Suitors adored her face, yet grew puzzled when conversation faltered. Praise felt meaningless. Compliments clung to her like empty ornaments. One morning, suffocated by admiration she didn't understand, Celera slipped into the royal forest, desperate for silence. Meanwhile, across the border, Ryan, now 20, wandered seeking respite from political lessons and the unspoken judgments that still shadowed him. Through winding trails he walked, following the hush of the wind until he entered a quiet clearing bathed in silvered sunlight. There, sitting beside a moss-lined brook, was Celera, her expression serene but heavy with invisible weight. Ryan froze, not from her beauty, though it was staggering, but from the sorrow she tried and failed to hide. "Forgive me," he said softly. "I thought this place was empty. I can go." "You don't have to," she replied without looking up. "The world is wide enough for two who need quiet." They began speaking, tentative at first, then with surprising ease. They talked of the forest, the sound of water, the strangeness of expectation. Celera waited for the usual flattery, but Ryan offered thoughtful remarks, playful insights, and gentle observations. For the first time in her life, she listened with genuine interest. She didn't understand everything he said, but she understood him, his warmth, his sincerity. Finally, he looked at her with careful tenderness. "I see the burden behind your smile. Would you want clarity of mind to match the grace everyone praises?" Her breath caught. "More than anything. But that kind of miracle doesn't exist, does it?" "It does," he answered. "I can share what was gifted to me if you agree to one condition." "And what would that be?" "That after 1 year, you'll decide freely whether you could ever love me. No obligation. Only your choice." Celera hesitated. He was kind. His presence soothed her, but his appearance startled her. Could she tie her future to someone who made her heart uncertain? "I promise," she whispered. Ryan touched her hand lightly. A warm rush surged through her mind, sweeping away fog she never realized was there. Words aligned. Thoughts brightened. The world sharpened. For the first time, Celera felt awake.